Who I believe to be the true birthers of choosing beggars, it's entitled parents. Our first one is from Nick's Out for Harambe. I work at a zoo, and we're mostly closed for the winter, but our reptile house is still open because it's kept at the same temperature year-round. I'm working, showing people what the different animals are, answering their questions, when a family, 2 parents, 1 kid, comes in. They're mostly chill, doing what all visitors do, when I hear that the kid wants to hold the green mamba. Normally, we let kids hold some of the reptiles if they are non-venomous and non-aggressive. Green mambas are venomous, and this one in particular gets really aggressive when people are near it. The parents come and ask me if their kid can hold it. I tell them he can't for the above reasons, and they tell him. This is when he throws a massive fit. Apparently, his favorite color is green, and he only wanted to hold that snake. We had other green snakes, and thinking back, I should have just got a different snake and told him it was a green mamba to avoid the bullshit, but I didn't think of that at the time. They come back to me and ask again, and I firmly say no. Then they got really upset and loud about how I was a terrible zookeeper and should just let their kid hold the snake. My manager hears the commotion, and so did every other guest, and comes over to see what's wrong. They tell him that I'm not letting their kid hold a snake, when we let kids hold snakes all the time. There is really only 5 snakes that we let people hold, mostly because most snakes don't like being held. So my manager then tells them to follow him and he will let him hold a snake. They stop him and bring him to the green mamba and say it has to be this one. He tells them what I told them, and that they can't let guests hold venomous snakes, and they yell at him as well. Now, my manager doesn't have a lot of patience, so he just tells them to get out or he's going to call security to force them out. They promptly left, but not before calling us child-hating Nazis. While these parents are setting a fantastic example for their child on how to approach real-world situations and how to react. In the end, I'm glad you stuck to the policy. A lot of people don't understand policies, but, well, they're there for a reason. This next one is by Xanaxy. So I, 19, and my mother, early 30s, do not see eye to eye very clearly in the rules of the world at all. She believes in the marriage, love, life, live, and babies, where I'm an individual. I'm working for myself and my current partner. I do not want children, nor do I think I ever will. Marriage isn't off the table, but She's a lower income mother who has 1 child, me, who she had very young whilst she lived with my gran. I'm no child, more well-off individual who moved out of her house because she's very manipulated. This brings me to 2 issues. Issue 1, children. I hate children. I could not think of having anything worse than a slimy, horrible thing the size of a watermelon come out of my hoo-ha and ruining my body and life forever. Little crotch goblins make me feel sick. I'm bad enough with my cousins. Even them touching my arm makes me feel like I have to have 4 showers to get the germs off. I have either intense germophobia or OCD. I've thought about having my tubes tied because the thought of having children brings me so much trauma. I do not look at children with lovey eyes. I look at children with disgust. Nothing personal, I just hate crotch goblins. She continuously asks me when I think about having kids, talking so highly of having kids, how I'll be alone if I don't have kids, how my gran will be sad if I don't have kids and the family will be disappointed. She berates me for spending so much time on my work and my hobbies, gaming and online work, and having a year-long, almost 2, long-distance relationship. Issue 2, my existing relationship. She has no respect for my existing relationship. She always points out good-looking boys and wealthy boys, and it makes me feel sick. It really makes me seethe. I don't understand why she can't fathom I'm actually happy with my decision. She may think it's not real. She may think he's not wealthy enough. Do not care. I cannot fathom or understand why she feels so entitled to do it. Using my gran and trying to manipulate me to feel bad and try to get me to have children. Also belittling my relationship and trying to suggest wealthier men. It makes me sick. I feel like what your mom's trying to push on you is everything she wished would occur for her. I don't know, I could be wrong, I could be overstepping, but that's just kind of how I'm reading this situation. Good on you though for knowing exactly what you want and sticking to your guns with it. And our final one is from Boo Cottom. Before I start, you must know that my mom is desperate for a boyfriend. She has 4 children with 3 different fathers. You can imagine how she would be lonely. However, she gets too desperate. Every boyfriend she has, she spoiled him with food and trips to theme parks and water parks. We never went on before. Then later, she would get mad at us if we say anything wrong to him or do anything bad around him. Most of them use her like to get food or to get a green card through marriage, and honestly, I can't blame them for not wanting to be with a woman like her. Her newest boyfriend used to just be a handyman around the house she would call if we broke something. He has now suddenly begun to live with us. He was nice at first, but now I don't like him. He calls our mom over the smallest things. One time it was 9 o'clock. I was downstairs in the kitchen drinking water. He saw me and said nothing. 3 minutes later, I got a call on the house phone. It's my mom. She's yelling at me, screaming as if I had killed someone. Why am I downstairs around her boyfriend? She screamed over and over again. I say nothing and she keeps screaming at me and screaming at me. Another time, her boyfriend comes upstairs to my room. Without knocking, he opens the door and he asks me where his hair gel is. I say no. But before he leaves, I stupidly opened my mouth and say next time could he knock. He looks at me as if I'm crazy and he then says he's going to call my mom. I looked at him as if he's crazy and just took my dog which was in my room and I went downstairs. Suddenly, the house phone rang. I pick up the phone and it's my mother. She tells me to put the phone on speaker. Screaming, she asked, why did I walk away from her boyfriend when he was talking to me? He comes downstairs to hear the chaos he caused, and she goes on about, how could I say that to a grown adult? That I've got no right to say that. It's not my house and I can't do whatever I want. She goes on screaming, telling me to apologize to him. I do, and she says again and again and again. Later, I'm doing my homework and the boyfriend is sitting on the couch talking to my mom on the phone. She then says that if that was him back in the day, he would get beat and disciplined and her children were not right and she needs to reason better and how she needs to do this and that. Now whenever I go to bed, I can't close my room door. I deal with the sounds of TV and light that floods into my room. Boy, I can't wait till they inevitably break up. God, in a situation like this, I don't know who's worse, if it's the mom or the grown-ass man-baby of a boyfriend. The mom probably because she's putting all of her boyfriends over her kids, which it should always be the other way around, mother or father. And grown-ass man-baby that wants to call and tattletale on a child. I just don't understand how that could be attractive or anything like that, but I guess when you're desperate, you'll take what you can get. I'm sorry you gotta deal with that bullshit. Alright, that's enough entitlement for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Entitled Parents. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, have a great day and stay safe out there.